Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Gym Owners Podcast. My name is Natalia.
I'm Anthony.
I have my lovely colleague, Anthony. And then today we actually have Tawnya on, Tawnya Torgl from Onpoint Gym, and her lovely husband in the back. If you can see him there, he'll be joining us in spirit. But they are in Wofford Heights, California, and have a lovely gym there. So anyway, Tawnya, we're so glad to have you on today. And just with, the accolades that your husband has and you and all you're doing for your community in the fitness industry. So anyway, we just I guess want to start with, like, how did you get started, or why did you guys start this gym in Wofford Heights as fitness professionals?
Well, hi there, Natalia. Hi there, Anthony. It's a pleasure and an honor to be here. So thank you for asking me to be one of part of this with you guys. Basically, I was raised up here in Wofford Heights, moved away. And then when my husband and I got married, we talked about retiring up here. But once we moved up here, Danny's desire and his dream kicked right back into wanting his gym. So after being up here and searching around for buildings and locations, we could not find one big enough for everything that we wanted to do. So we settled on just a little bit, almost 2,000 square feet. We signed the lease on about March 30th and ordered everything, paint, electrical, everything. The doors opened, ready to go by June 3rd.
Wow.
Yes.
So you had it up and running in like 2.5 months or something like
Exactly.
that.
And in our gym, we have hoist equipment. So we have top of the line hoist equipment, the rocket system, especially fitted for the demographics up here. It's an older demographics like Danny. Danny's 64, I'm 60. So we just want to make sure that we don't have machines that do too much torque on the joints, ligaments, and connectors. We want to make sure everybody stays in one piece.
Yeah.
Is that the equipment that you kind of use your body weight, where like you lift up as you move it? I love that stuff.
Oh, it's great. And you add the weights to it. So we've got several pieces that are free weights you could add. Most of them are the pins where you could just pin the weights into what you need. And that's when you're working with the older demographics like us. I appreciate not having to lift up a lot of free weights and move them on and off.
Yeah. Because otherwise, I mean, that's tough anyway. If like your average age is, like you said, a little bit older. So. But that's really cool. So what, I guess your husband and you, obviously that was always his dream to be in the fitness industry and to start a gym. But like, how did he even get started in the fitness industry? Can you tell us about him a little? Because he has some really cool, I think, street cred in the fitness industry for sure.
Right. Well, first, when he was born in San Diego, but his family moved to Spain. And in Spain, he got to be raised around his uncles, and his uncles were very loving and adoring with their wives. And then they were very, very good caretakers. And I guess, abuelito, or how do you say in Spain, uncle, he was literally taking his bare hands and sewing leather shoes with the needle so his forearms and his arms were massive. And Danny's this little young boy, and he says, I want arms like you, my uncle. And after 13 years of there, they moved back to San Diego. He got involved in weightlifting. And I think at age 19 is when he first had his competition, and he did really well. And it's so funny because Danny and I talk about all the pictures and video that people have today that are in the arena of working out, that from our time, we don't have pictures. We have like a Polaroid so we don't have a lot. But he competed, and then from there, he was getting ready to compete again. And so he said, I want you to go see this guy. And he literally hooked Danny up with Vince Gironda. And the person said, Danny goes, I don't have the money to pay him. And the guy, forgive me for not remembering his name. He says, don't worry about it. It's covered. So Danny met Vince Gironda, and Vince Gironda says, you've done really well on building your body, but I can make it better. And so Danny, when they're cocky at like 19, 20 years of age, Vince Gironda had to jerk some knots in his backside, but actually Danny learned so much, and he competed and he was winning stuff. But most importantly is that Vince Gironda became his mentor and his master in learning so much that to this day, Danny's very honoring towards Vince Gironda.
Hmm.
And that's at a time where it wasn't common to have a coach, because this is what, the 80s, 90s that he's competing in?
Yes.
So 80s, 90s, people didn't have coaches like they did today, like Kevin Lavone, like all those people, they just did what they did and went on stage, right? Like it was,
Right.
Am I wrong? Like, wasn't it rare to have a coach back then?
I would say you had your, what was it, Joe Wheatley's and all, or some of those guys and stuff, because I know that, I believe even like people like Arnold Schwarzenegger and stuff have all gone to Vince Gironda. So he was definitely the master of his time. And it's really kind of sad when you think about the credit this man should have in the bodybuilding. It's coming to light more and more, and the respect is getting better and better. But it's the man was before his time. He would tell people how he can teach people to curl a pencil, and he could get a pump in a bicep, which is curling a pencil. I know. It's how you hold it. It's the form. It's the full range of motion in the state of contraction. That's what it's all about.
Wow.
So that's amazing. Oh, pardon me. So, but I mean, him being unbelievable in like the fitness competition, like now he coaches people, right? Like how Vince did for him.
Yeah. Danny is coached, I think, want to say, forgive me if I'm wrong on my numbers, anywhere from about around 500 different competitors in his span of decades. And he has over 2,000 wins. He's got trophies on the wall. I mean, I could plug 1, 2, 3, 4, a good 24 or more trophies that are in this room. We got trophies on our gym at the wall. We have swords of his champions that, through honoring him, they turned around and gave him their trophies. You know, that coveted sword that everybody wants? One was turned around and gave to Danny after the guy won it. That was very honoring. That is something special. That's another thing that's getting to be rare. Is the people today, you could be a child care person or a burger flipper at Burger King. You want to change your career, you go online, you get your training certificate, you walk into a gym and say, hey, I want to be a trainer. And they say, great, pay us our rent money. You could train here, no problem. We don't let that happen at our gym. You have to mentor with us for several months. You have to prove to us you could train us. You have to have a cert. You have to be licensed. And then when you start getting your first clients, we're going to shadow you to make sure there's no injury happening, that the person, it's a result-oriented gym. So yeah, that's Danny's history. That's why Danny's been successful.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's funny because a lot of time, like what you just said, a lot of gyms do, where you go online, you get your ACE certification, which I think people that don't even study could probably pass that.
Yes.
But it's more to be a trainer, because it's not just, all right, learning from a book and doing it. It's also being a motivator and getting every last bit of energy out of somebody for every single rep to give it all they got. So that's awesome that you guys do that.
Yes. Well, we feel it's necessary, because I see trainers that like they'll work somebody's chest and then they'll walk them across the gym, and not at our gym. And then they'll walk them across the gym, and all of a sudden you see them like on a calf machine. And I'm boggled. And so you're supposed to work your larger muscles, go down to your smaller muscles, and know what the primary in the exercise, what the primary muscle is, and what other muscles that hit when you're working on it, the secondary muscles. And you don't want to over fatigue those. You don't want to start giving them elbow issues, knee issues. We saw a guy take his client to a bench press cold, put a ton of weight on it, and he had him bench press it, and it literally ripped his chest muscle. And Danny,
he didn't even warm up?
No. And Danny was literally running across the gym to say, stop. I didn't want to tell you. And it was, this trainer did it to the gym owner at this other gym. It was, we were shocked. Well, it's what you live and learn. And trainers, they can injure people. We don't want that, because who wants to take somebody's dream or somebody's final willpower to finally get into a gym and make them so sore they're in bed for 3-4 days and they don't want to come back.
Yep.
Yeah. So your gym, like, so with Danny, just given his expertise and your expertise, really, because you still train people. I mean, the both of you, it's such a cool thing that you guys are a team in this, but your gym is such a safe environment for anyone coming in to work out, which is critical. We actually have a doctor that comes on who's in like fitness. She has a business called the Fitness Law Academy, and she's given us all these horror stories too. And like what you're saying is, it's so crazy. It's so common. So it's really nice that he comes in with just a very high level of knowledge, right, in this industry, which is why he has, I mean, what is like all of his titles? He's the National Fitness Hall of Fame Top Trainer Award. He has Master of Body Sculpting for 44 years. He's, I mean, and really he trains competitors at the elite level, right? And then also he's the president of the World Fitness Federation for the California division.
The World Fitness Federation was brand new. So we're being introduced to it. We're seeing how is it a good fit for us too? Because as much as it's an honor to also be a part of all these different organizations, they also have to have that level of what we want to. It's an honor. It is a privilege. But it's got to be for the competitor. It's got to be for the person trying to get results. It's got to be for my dog barking behind me right now. Hi there,
oh, is that what that was?
Yeah.
I was wondering. That's funny. Yeah.
What's your goal because I know you started out with a 2,000 square feet gym, and it's not just a regular gym because you do rehabilitation services, and besides just from getting people to ready to step on stage, it's also important to note, because someone may be watching this going, well, I'm not going to be a bodybuilder, but you don't have to be. You can still go to this gym. You might have back issues, COPD. You could go to this gym and pretty much, get better. Turn back the clock. So that being said, what's your goal to be? Is it to stay a 2,000 square foot gym, or is it to branch out, multiple, or a big gym?
We're currently looking at a piece of property. It's got a little multi-level in it, and we're looking to put either a 6,000, 7,000 footprint gym there, put it at a 2-story, have an indoor walking track, definitely bring in the health industry. Like you said, we'll have health hall where we're going to have chiropractic, HRT, and all that other stuff. In the next hallway, it'll have infrared, cryo, everything down that next hallway. And then I'll have like our little store, and then we have other stuff like a little walk-up cafe with the good healthy foods, no burgers, no fries. Yeah. And then and it's true exactly what you said about our gym. So yes, we're looking to have a footprint like that, and the reason why is exactly what we're already doing in our smaller gym right now. For instance, we've had several people come to our gym that have been required by their doctor to lose 60 plus pounds, or they will not get their surgery. Not only have they lost the 60 pounds, they've lost more, 80 pounds. They put on muscle. And where the doctor said it was going to take 3 weeks for recovery, some of these ladies are up and walking in 7, and the doctors are amazed. So now when they have patients that need to lose weight, these doctors that are in Ridgecrest and Bakersfield have actually sent people to us to help them, get on a meal plan. We don't do diets, because a diet is something that you're on temporarily, and it's not a lifestyle learning thing. We will tell them, this is your meal plan. Plan to eat like this. Plan if you want to have a cheat meal, not a cheat day, to plan that in your life. Then you learn the lifestyle of it. But these people have lost the weight, so they've gotten their surgery. We've had one guy that was in a really bad car accident. The doctor says you will not be able to walk normally ever in your life. He's now leg pressing, believe it or not, 1,000 pounds.
Whoa.
1,000 pounds.
Wait, they said he wasn't going to walk?
He could walk, but it wouldn't be, I don't know if it was upright or bent over and just kind of drag a leg or something.
Oh my God.
It's what doctors are willing to tell people. We even recently had a young lady, 18 years old. Or was she 17? She was in a wrestling match because it was a guy and a girl wrestling. The guys wrestle the guys, the girls wrestle the girls. But this one big girl threw her down and shoved her elbow into her ribs, popping them out. I won't say fully popping them out. But the doctor said, no, we're going to have to open up your back, put some steel bars and pins or something. And her mother said, nuh-uh. So her mother brought her to our gym, and Danny's been training her now for 3 months. And she's gone back to the doctor. She doesn't need the surgery. Her ribs are going to be fine. And now she's got added muscle on her body, holding those ribs in place.
Wow.
Yes.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So you guys
I have a question, since you guys are kind of like, was his dream gym and everything, because I think that resonates with a lot of people, especially that have either been in the industry, or if you're just an everyday, gym warrior that goes to the gym for 2 hours a time or twice a day person. It's always your goal to have a gym. Now that you guys have went out, did the stuff, bought the equipment, got a place, if you had to redo it all over again, what lessons did you learn, and what changes would you have made different if you had the ability to do the whole thing over again? If there were any changes, I'm just curious.
Correct. I would definitely say it would have been better for us to hold out for that bigger space, because as much as I thought it would take us 3 to 5 years to grow into what we have, we grew into this place in like 8 months.
Yeah,
it was incredible. And now with everything that we want to bring in, that we can bring in now, we want to work with the Heart Association, the American Diabetes. We want to start working with preventing suicide in our veterans. The isolation, the loneliness, the depression, especially we're in the Alta Sierras up here, and so there is some depression, especially in our winter hours and stuff. Programs, and we have spoken with different foundations and stuff. So we did everything right. We own our equipment. Right now the gym covers our payroll, because that was very important to us. That's one thing I'll tell Jim. It was frustrating for me as a person to walk into gyms and ask for help, and the person behind the counter didn't know, offered me one thing or two things, was reluctant, made me feel uncomfortable for even asking them. And that was not going to be at our gym. Danny and I talked about it. So the person standing behind our desk are independent trainers. They get their desk time. Anybody that walks through their door, it could be their client if they're looking for a trainer. My dog. And
to talk to.
So anybody can ask. They could be their trainer. They can train on their shift, but you're covering the front desk. You're there to help people around the gym. And it's in helping those people, they can also turn into a client also. So everybody at the gym is so helpful with each other and the different trainers. It's just a different feature that we have in our gym that you don't see anywhere else.
Nice.
That's amazing.
What was the thing that made him flip to say, that's it, I'm starting my gym. I've been having this dream for the past 40 years. Because there's probably, I'm asking a question as if I'm in that position, I want to own a gym. Like, what is it that made him flip to start it? And if he could, did he wish he did it earlier than wait after he actually did the process of starting his own gym?
What made Danny is when we first moved up here and seeing, again, I don't need to keep pecking away on the demographics, seeing the actual need for it. Meeting, it's funny, we moved up here, Danny's meeting everybody I went to grade school with, all the way through high school. And so he's meeting people that are like in anywhere from their 50s to their 80s. And it's across the nation. There's a need for it. That niche needs us. It needs people to care and take the time. So when he said, honey, we're doing it. We're just going to do it. And that's when I made rules and laws with him that have since been broken. That I will not do all the paperwork myself, but I am. He's the face of the gym. He works with clients and he gives, and he gives. But you really need, if you met Danny and saw that it's in him helping a person that he gets most of his joy, it's like it fills up his soul. It makes him feel good to help other people. And he just gives. And so by us doing that, that's why we got the gym. That's what broke. And the other thing is that it was just time, you guys. It was just time. It was the right spot in our life.
Yeah, you could finally invest in it, right? He was at that place where he was he saw the need and then he came to the rescue. And it was just, and you guys were ready for it. So, oh, that's so cool. I know, and you have quite the following on. I mean, it's clearly apparent that you're fan favorites, you're city favorite, you're all the things, because you have over 3 million followers on your Instagram too?
Well, that was going to be my question was, because a lot of gym owners, believe it or not, they're dead on social media. A lot of them are cavemen where they've had gyms for years, and a lot of them like, I don't want to go on social media. You've actually been very successful at making social media and getting all followers. So, number one, if there are gym owners watching this, how did you do it? Yeah. Two, how much has that helped the business being that successful?
At first, excuse me, Squeak. At first, we had a lot of online clients, and online clients take a lot of special time too. So if a person thinks they're going to start an online business and it's going to be an easy ride, it's not. It's just as much focus, just as much attention, and just as much talking and listening on the phone. You're not even there training them in front of them. And they will call you several times, like, how do I do this? What's next? What's next? So it's just as much time as owning a gym. Only you've got that hour slot with the person right in front of you, and you can move to your next client. So the online presence is, we have our online business. The online presence, we still have people that'll drive in from Ridgecrest, Bakersfield, up from LA for Danny to train. We've even had people come as far as Temecula to train them to be trainers since we've been up here. The online was built through Danny before we even owned the gym, because he was a personal trainer, and that's why he built that. I will say one thing, warning. Danny, a company wooed him to say, we'll help you build your presence. And he went with one company once, and then he was looking at all the followers, and I go, honey, that's not real. That's not real. So since then, we nixed that. We got a lot of that cleaned up. We had another company ask us if, we could clean that up. I said, nope, nobody's touching our stuff. And since, scary. There are just con people out there, and they'll charge you, and then they'll it's not even real. So people, don't waste your time with that. Build it. How many posts does Danny have? Like over 11,000 posts.
Wow.
Wow.
And it's daily. He worked and built on that daily. But I'll tell you, since owning the gym, he's not posting like he was. So our growth hasn't gone up like it used to. Now it's just a little bit less. It's a gradual growth now. But getting information out there, bringing in people, building our presence here in this smaller community, I will tell you that having all of that did help us.
Nice.
But you think that that's critical for, like, would you say that attributed to, or like partially right to the success that you guys have had, because he was already really well known online? And so that's a key thing for any gym owner to probably make. And even if it's does, like you said, it's not smooth sailing or just coasting, you're still working, but it does help even now that he had that online presence for you guys to have that, that acclaim for people to come visit. They're like, oh my gosh, this guy who's super big online has a gym now, we can go, right?
Yes. Okay. Not only that, they're more in shock that we're up in a retirement community. And they're more in shock that even in our retirement community.
It's the best spot to have a gym. The credit cards don't decline.
Yeah. Yeah. Your dues always get
the dues don't decline.
Yeah.
Right? Funny. We have almost 300 people in our little 2,000 square foot gym. The 300 members, and we rotate them through. You guys, we help them.
Yeah, that's amazing. But you guys are kind of would you say like you're at capacity with that size, where that's why you feel like you need to, because you couldn't really continue, even though the growth is there, you just don't have the space for it now. So
agreed. And especially with what we want to kick in. We want to kick a lot of different things up into our area. Like did you hear about our fun run?
No.
Tell us.
Did you know about our fun run?
No, I wouldn't hear about it. I remember you saying you were doing something like that, but I don't know all the details. No.
Well, since we moved up here, I've joined the chamber, and I'm on the chamber board. I'm the chamber board secretary. I'm already on the hospital foundation board up here. And what we're looking to do is build awareness to healthy activities. So within our business model, another thing for gym owners to do is to net yourself into town. And money may be tight, but we find ways, like we brought this event to this town. It's actually done inside of a rodeo arena. We have obstacles that got built. We had volunteers. It's great. We get nothing from it. Nothing comes back. Our bills get, when we have to pay for the insurance, that gets paid back to us. But the really cool thing is that the monies made for this actually go out to the local charities. So in the meantime, we had fastest man, fastest woman, fastest team. And then we had the kids with the pumpkin run where they had to run with their pumpkin over some of the obstacles. But doing events like that, and people are actually able to sit up in the stands and watch their family, watch their friend, and root them on. It's, you guys, just doing stuff like that, knitting into the community. People have come in and said, hey, I learned about you because you have the fun run. And so they've come into our gym. Yes.
They're like, we want to work out here. You guys are,
Yeah, we're fun.
Yeah, you guys are fun. And you're promoting wellness all around, but in like a fun way, even for families and kids to get involved. So everyone's healthy, not just, that's so cool. Yeah, it's really neat that you guys, I feel like have made it, because if there wasn't really another gym there, right? Like you guys are kind of the only one, or is there?
There's another gym that's been up here for decades. It's a great gym. It's an older gym. It's changed hands of owners a few times. They're there. They've been there for decades.
Okay.
They don't have Danny.
Yeah.
Well, once you guys get bigger, I mean, that's the thing. It's just you have to get bigger because you are training all of your clients to actually use the gym. Whereas a lot of gyms, they sign them up, they pay. 70% of the member base doesn't go, where you can get away with smaller base. Your guys come probably more than once a day, so you have to expand and get a little bit bigger.
Yeah. We're not that gym where we're going to treat you like a hamster and throw you on a treadmill and keep taking your money. It doesn't feel. I don't think I can sleep at night. It's a result-oriented gym. Yes.
And 24 hours as well, right? Or
no. We would love it. Part of our thing is to make sure that there's a person standing behind that desk that can assist people. So if we could afford the payroll and have somebody there throughout the night like that, we would do that. But right now the gym's covering the payroll for our independent people and the rent and all of that. It's the gym is actually carrying itself. Yay. Yeah. But the important thing to us was to make sure we had a body there, a person that knew how to share, train, and walk people through the different machines and point them towards their goals and ideas.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So that would make sense to not be 24/7 if you're always going to have like a staff trainer, like you said, unless you guys do grow to be that big. I mean, with all the services you're looking to offer, it very well could be a possibility in the near future when you get
one of my main things for me is I'm a clean freak. It's got to be clean. How many gyms have we gone into? And when you see the treadmill lifting up, you see like massive dust bunnies that are under there. Yeah. Or you've gone into the bathroom and like, I'm not even going to tell you. Our gym is cleaned throughout the day. Our bathrooms are the cleanest bathrooms you've ever seen at a gym anywhere. I jokingly tell people you could eat off our floors. And no, it's not an offer.
Yeah, no one would, but they could, yeah.
Yeah, it's important to me. And even when I go into the bathroom after each and every client that has come in, I make sure you're going to crack up. Our toilet paper is folded. Our sinks are wiped off. It smells, looks clean, and is clean. Our day lockers get wiped out every day. It's just, it gets vacuumed every single night from corner to corner. Yes.
Yeah. Well, that's key. It's funny because Anthony actually used to run like big gyms in Las Vegas. And, that was one of the things he would always say, and like what we'll say to gym owners coming on, like, if you start to see maybe your numbers go to, is your gym clean? Because people aren't going to want to stay.
Check underneath the dumbbell racks, check underneath the treadmills, check anything that has a shelf, like everything. You want to be able to eat off the floor.
You got it. I agree. Even our wall fans that are up on the wall, those get turned off. The blades get wiped down, and and the crud that builds up around the screen, it's clean. It's clean.
Yeah. That's awesome.
It's important.
So is that I was going to ask you, like, what would be the best advice you would give to maybe someone going into the gym industry who hasn't been? Because there's a lot of people that will come on here, they're brand new gym owners, and they have like no idea what they're doing. They're just like, I love fitness, let's do this. And they're not
Get
business
Gym Insight software, number one. No,
yeah, number one. Yeah.
Oh, well, that's
I'm just kidding.
sure.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
No, I have to agree with you, Anthony. And it's a nightmare. I picked the wrong software. They took $6,000 of my money for their Cadillac platinum level, and then they left me at the what is that called, the starter level. They never kicked me out of it, and none of my computers, all the different reports weren't working. It was such no help. And then they got bought. In the middle of them getting bought, they tried to charge me for the next year, and it was a big battle. And then they took the money out of my banking account, and I never gave them authorization to touch my bank at all. The way I paid them initially was through my credit card, but they went into my bank and took money. So there's some software companies out there with zero scruples. I have to say Gym Insight has been the one to step up to the plate. Because even in my interviewing to change my software, I'd ask the people, oh, you're going to put me on this Stripe. Is it on your platform, or will it be for me? It'll be my Stripe account, or is that sitting on the gym's platform? They don't tell you this stuff, so they have control of Stripe. You can't turn Stripe on. You can't turn it off. You have zero control. They just keep taking the money, because suddenly you can't even cancel them. It's a nightmare. So I got through it. I used some legal finagle dangles on them, and just involved God and everybody. And I got my money back.
Oh, good.
That's a lot of money. 6,000. I bet not hear any complaints for the next gym I onboard, even the big ones, because it's not anywhere close to 6,000.
Yeah, our onboarding is minuscule compared to that. Yeah.
Well, their software is supposed to do my dishes, and it never
did. Yeah.
No, I have to say, Gym Insight has been an incredible, easy to use, user-friendly software. So thank you. That's a good stuff.
Yay.
Nice.
So that's your first piece of advice. And then
I'm serious.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, like anybody, I mean, any gym owner, do your due diligence on whatever software.
No, you know what it is? Brand new first-time gym owners, you don't understand. You just think all software works. It's all the same thing. Unfortunately, you have to touch the stove to know that it's hot with this stuff, because they either won't get any software and try to run it by hand to save money, which is ridiculous, because that's just going to leave all money laying on the ground. Or you say, nope, I'm actually going to invest in the company and get software. But how do you know? I would think all software is the same. You don't know until and the person that's selling it is just saying whatever to get the sale, like their car salesman.
Oh,
right?
yeah. Oh, yeah. They are used car salesmen. They will actually lie to you, number one. And I'm not wet behind the ears. I worked in the computer industry for almost, I want to say 10 years. I used to sell software when it was dial-up and ISDN lines, and then we went into T1 lines. I dated myself. But I was around when it was Novell and Microsoft. It prehistoric? But we'll just
wow.
Well, I knew what I knew to ask about the speed up. I knew that kind of stuff. I did not know to ask about how is the merchant account held or handled. What kind of control will I have on that? I didn't know that they have it in very small writing. You have to cancel your contract with us 30 or 60 days prior in order, or we get to take the money. It's just bad. It's just bad. Yeah. And I'm not wet behind the ears. I know these things. I did not know about the credit card stuff.
Yeah. So now that you've made the switch and like you're happy with the software, and even though you did know, because you had that foundation, it was a learning experience. So like you're saying, just for any new gym owner, do your due diligence on whomever you choose. Yeah. And then, and read the fine print. And then like, what else would you tell them
not just software. It could be anything. It could be
anything.
Wellness, like,
like what would you say to a gym owner
that you buy?
Yeah.
Well, it depends again. You think you're going to buy a lower quality equipment because you're going to save money on that. Right now, there's other gyms that have bought lesser equipment, lesser quality equipment. Their cable is already broken. It's rickety. Some of the stuff has already been dragged out of the gym. It's sitting in the rain. And it breaks my heart for them. Stuff is not cheap. I know another gym that had stuff shipped in from Russia because it was so inexpensive. It was, but the stuff, it doesn't fit the body well. Your biggest investment is going to be the equipment. And after that, just like if you bought a really nice car, you got to maintain it. So I've got one guy that's focused on, believe it or not, the nuts, the bolts, the greasing, the oil. Don't use cheaper oil. Don't use the wrong oil. Take care of your equipment. So watch the software you're going to buy, investigate that, do your due diligence, get better quality equipment, even if it means an extra $100, $200 financing monthly payment. If that's imperative, keep it clean, but in prep for it. I had another 50 grand stuck in the bank that was there to cover all the stuff we weren't like, oh, okay, the insurance went up. Okay. Oh, okay. The gym monthly rent went up. And oh, I thought I could get away with 2 employees. They're not employees, 2 independent contractors. I needed 4, you guys. So all that little extra money sitting in the bank went exactly where it needed to go.
Back into the business.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
That's good because some people don't think about that. Like you should have a cushion in your bank for any types of emergencies that can go on. Because what are you going to do? Use your credit cards? Like you can't, like that's good. So you recommend about 50,000 if it's a smaller gym to have as a cushion, just at the bare minimum.
Oh, it's bare minimum. Bare minimum. Agreed. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. That's amazing. So there's like, those are the things you think like the key takeaways for you with starting to learn.
Oh yeah. Well, with our bare minimum gym, and that's a whole nother story, how we fit all the equipment in there. It was such a good story. Anyways, we spent literally, I want to say, well over $250,000. No, it was $293,000 on the startup of this gym.
Wow.
Yeah. Do that with the square footage.
Yeah, for 2,000 square feet. That's a little bit. Did you expect that you were going to be spending that amount of money going into it, or it just started piling up with like left, right, and center bills were coming at you?
Pretty much we had a suspicion. No, we did our math. And I did my girl math. And so it's only going to cost, but we did stuff like we went and had 2 statues made of my husband because he's our mentor. He's the one guiding us. We got one already in the gym. This is going to be for our this is for our larger gym. That's why we got this.
You already knew.
I was killing him when I was getting this. He was like, he's going to get revenge at me because I got a statue made.
I'd get a statue made.
Right?
So, I don't know.
And I went overboard because I bought stuff like for our tiny little lobby. Like we have a Sisyphus table in our lobby. And that's a table that's magnetic. It moves a little ball around in the sand. And it's just, so when you're done working out, you go sit down in the lobby chairs. People sit there, they gather, they'll drink their protein shake or whatever. And the Sisyphus table is just, it's a point of conversation. And you need to look that up. That's a cool table. I think that table when it first came out was like $4 or $5 grand. Yeah. Oh, and now it's like half price. Pissed me off, but whatever.
Yeah. So you did do girl math. You got like a few things that were cool and were a little more expensive. So yeah, that's really cool. Oh, I love that. And you guys offer what's neat about your gym, it's that you do have more. Like you were saying, it would be cool if you talked about like maybe other services that you're providing within your gym, because that I think also sets you apart from other gyms because you're offering something like that's a specialty, that's niche that other gyms don't provide.
Well, first of all, we will offer a person to walk them through machines and put them through workouts several times. We just give that to them. We have trainers that are there that will also walk them through machines if they forget how, because that keeps them coming back, you guys. That keeps them happy. It keeps people feeling confident, safe. They don't stand in the room and not know what to do. I think that in its nugget, there's a value in that. The other thing that we offer at our gym is that we do the Fit 3D machine. And through the Fit 3D machine, we can see how much body fat and muscle are on people. We'll actually sit down with them and talk to them. What are you eating? How many times do you eat a day? This is the amount of muscle. What is it you're looking to accomplish? You just want to feel better, or do you want to put more muscle on your body? And according to what they say, we will literally say, you need to eat this much protein and then stop eating carbs after 3. And they go, well, give us an idea what that is. And we'll say, well, grilled chicken with a quarter cup, half cup rice, whatever it is they're looking to do with some vegetables and stuff, and actually give them an idea of what measurements are and a meal plan is. And they write all this stuff down. And then we even have people that come in and see us with we have a shockwave. Our shockwave is for us, like I think it's $25 a service. I think I don't pay it, so I give myself free shockwave.
Yeah. I know,
But,
you own it, so it doesn't cost you anything. But yeah,
no, right? So that machine is designed to help with muscle inflammation. If you got bone spurs, like in your feet, plantar fasciitis. I have trigeminal neuralgia. It's also called the suicide disease. It's nerve damage. So we actually do some work on my neck here. You don't go up above because there's warnings. You don't go into certain zones. So you really have to know what you're doing with this machine. And because of that, that's kept me from even going to the hospital. We've had people that, we have a guitarist. His name is Bronson. He's in Angels Roost Country Band. Look those guys up, you guys. Good people. Angels Roost. He had damaged his hand. I forget how. I think he was working on something automotive, and his hand was literally puffed. And so as Danny's been treating it, the puffiness that's here in his hand is less and less and less, and he's actually able to play his guitar. He is phenomenal on a guitar, you guys. It's actually an honor that we get to work with them. He literally had blown out discs and stuff in his back, and by training with Danny, and he trains with Danny, he's been able to function without pain in his life, everyday pain, you guys. It's amazing. So we have the shockwave. We help people with meal plans. We're there to help people with working out on a daily basis. It's just stuff we're willing to give within our gym. And then some of the other things do cost money.
Yeah, that's so cool. So it's like so many different areas that you're able to treat people more than just, training them. You're treating their health and what they intake, what they ingest, and then they learn a better lifestyle, like overall. I mean, you're changing their life.
You got to learn. And then we work in conjunction with 2 chiropractors up here. Not only do they send people to us, we send people to them. And then we work with the doctor. Believe it or not, she's all the way down in Temecula from here. It's like a 4-hour drive. So we'll get a bunch of us all together, and we'll drive down together down to Temecula for HRT. That has helped a lot of people. If you're feeling foggy, you can't sleep, you can't, just everything. HRT is hormone replacement therapy done with the doctor, not where you buy something through Amazon, you start popping the pills. You guys, it's a delicate balance. I mean, people are just tossing testosterone boosters or dim estrogen blockers and all this stuff in their body that you buy off of Amazon. You don't know if you're helping or hurting your body. So we work with doctors like that too.
Wow.
That's awesome. I'm seeing a lot more gyms do that, where it's not just that, but it's okay, come in, you're over 40, you're over 50, you're 60, they're getting, their levels checked, putting them back what they should be, and then also offering everything. It's you need help with I see some offering Botox, and it's like a money, like it's crazy. It's because, but it makes sense. People go to the gym to want to get results, look good, feel good, and it just goes hand in hand. Everybody that works out does something, it does, so it's just crazy seeing that a lot of these gyms are now, instead of your member going out there, they're like, no, we're going to make a wellness. This room's going to be that. This room's going to be that. This room's going to be that, and just keep it in house. I think it's awesome.
So do I. As the business part of me likes that. The business part of me is dialed in on that. And that's why it's a gift that Danny's dialed in with what he does, and then I'm dialed in with this kind of stuff. I'm all about networking, tying in with different foundations and stuff to grow what we could do in this valley. And he's all about making sure that that growth is something that is result oriented for people to live and function in a better life. This is a good mix.
Yeah. And the cool thing is you guys like live it yourselves. You are, you practice what you preach kind of thing, where he's still very active. And would you say he's like 64? And then you're 60, and you're going to do a fitness competition possibly, so you have like, people are seeing you lead by example. It's not just like, hey, do as I say, you're saying like, I'm doing it too. And so I think that's really important. But like as a gym owner, like how do you find the time? Because you're so busy pouring out. How do you invest in yourself and get you stay healthy for your members, for your business? Like what do you do?
Well, first of all, we had to change when I worked out, because when I'm working out and people are there, there's a lot of hugs, hellos, and it's a lot of love in the gym, and I'll never complain about it. I just can't. And then you end up helping people too, because that's what we do. So we did switch me. I work out now at 4 a.m, and I start with, he and I both start with our clients at 5, 6. I'm 5:30, 6:30, 7:30, 8:30, 9:30, 10:30. Just busy with 1 to 4 clients each hour. Danny has his clients coming. That's where he's at right now, still with his clients. That's what we do for me. Danny works out at 2 o'clock with Bronson, Monday through Friday. I'm going to start working out Monday through Friday at 4 o'clock. And I've asked Valerie, she's also with Angels Roost, Valerie Stone, to come on and work out with me at that time. But, sometimes when they're at a gig and they come at home at 1, 2 in the morning, they're not going to be there Monday at 4. No.
It's not happening.
Yeah, it's exciting though. So that's what I've had to do because you have to lead by example, and it is hard because you do have to work out. Isn't that what the passion is? Isn't that what we started to do? Isn't that where we initially found the love for what we're doing? So I agree with you. Yes.
Sure. Real quick, because I know we're going a little long here, but I do have a question, because you have a lot of ideas of get people in, and it's a hands-on gym, which I love. And you guys actually train people to compete. So a big factor of that is, like you said, is eating. And I'm starting to see a lot of gyms offering like those pre-prepped meals at 300 calories, and they're all different things. What is your thoughts on the pre-prepped meals and gyms offering them? Is it good? Are you thinking about doing it? Is it too much hassle because it expires and all that? What's your opinion on it?
Well, that's where we want to go that little step further and have a little cafe on site. And by having that cafe, members could just show up to have lunch on the patio while they have a view of the lake. Like, who wouldn't want that for their lunch break from work? Yeah. But
you're all for it.
right. I'm all for it, because then I can go upstairs and grab me something. Right now, what we do is teach people how to do prep food. We talk about air fryers and rice makers and all of that stuff. What we would love to do is be able to offer something like that in the future, because people, their portions are so off. And it's like, even when we tell a person, you could have a quarter cup of rice, and all of a sudden you see them in the gym with their little food in the little square thing.
Bowl of rice.
That's not a quarter cup.
Yeah. Quarter cup's like this big.
No, that's a quarter cup. And they're like having that. That's
oh Lord.
Funny. So that's really cool. So you guys even are looking at adding a food element to the
our new location.
Yeah. You're just going to bring it all in. That's awesome. Well, Anthony, do you have any other questions? I feel like it's been a pleasure.
That was it. I'm starting to see a ton of gyms offering like the food that's already prepped, and they're in like the tubs, and they're like $10, $11 each, and they're in the refrigerator, and people, because a protein drink, let's be honest, even an Isopure or whatever, it's like $6. And for an extra couple dollars, I get the whole meal that's already planned out that has my real protein that I'm eating. And the whole thing's 350 calories. Like, why not take that over a protein drink, you know?
Yeah. I agree. Well, I think it's just been such a pleasure having you on. I'm really grateful that you like just joined us today, because it's really cool when you guys are living out your passion. You know, we talk to a lot of gym owners, and I think it's so different with the way that you see that difference with the heart behind what you do and why you do it. So, and it's obviously apparent with all of the accolades that, Danny have, and then even you, how you're helping all these women. So it's an inspiration for any gym owners that are watching. I'm sure they'll be inspired by what you guys are doing in your community. And I think it's really cool that you guys are even you're so loved, and the desire to work out at your gym is so present that you guys are even growing just from that. It's just organic growth because you're being excellent with what you do. So that's really cool. And so thank you for joining us today. We really enjoyed having you on. And I don't know if you have anything else to share, Anthony.
No.
Your Instagram? Well, we'll put your Instagram and website and everything in the bio of this video if anybody wants to go on your Instagram and see. I think your competing is inspirational. Even if I'm across the country, I would probably want to follow you, because you might be, hey, I'm 44. What's my excuse? Like, it's so. Or kids that are 25, with the way they look today, what's their excuse?
Right, yeah.
Ligaments that don't crack and everything. Come on, get to the gym.
Sound like a box of Rice Krispies in the morning.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, snap, crackle, pop.
All right, on that note, before I get in trouble.
Yeah, right.
See you later. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you, Tawnya.
Thank you, Natalia. Thank you, Anthony. I'll tell Danny you said hello. All right.
Yes, please do. All right.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.